All right, testing 1, 2, 3. All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, guys. I've got to fix the reload system for the bow. And also the aiming function. And the cool thing about this is that the line trace, it really goes, like the arrow really goes to the line trace, really tries to go to the line trace. And later we're going to be implementing the crosshair, which is going to be really nice. So as you can see, the arrow really goes to the place where I'm aiming at, and that's really cool. Hello. I don't know how to read that name in the chat. Sorry guys, my whole family is in my house, so if you hear anything, it's them. I cannot do anything. All right, so for the shoot event, we have I have done some organization here in this code. Let me see, sandbox character, weapon shooting. All right. Right, so here for the shoot event, we press the left mouse button, and then it checks if the character is not in the default overlay state, which is this one right here, when the character is not using any weapons. So you're just checking if the character is not in the default state in the visual in the front end, and that's going to prevent bugs. That could prevent bugs, future bugs, if the character is not in the default overlay state, because that doesn't make sense if you shoot and it's not in the overlay state. If it's not in the bow or pistol overlay state. So, and here, of course, when we shoot, when you press the left mouse button to shoot, we're going to check if the character is currently aiming. And here we get a weapon reference. Here on this variable, on this macro, I've made a function, a code to check and get the reference of whatever weapon is currently on the character's hand. So whatever weapon is equipped on the character's hand, it's going to get that reference. So if it's found, then we're going to go to the next code in here. So the next code is going to check, before we're shooting, it's going to check if that weapon reference of whatever weapon we're holding has at least just one weapon, just one ammo, one bullet or one arrow to shoot. So if the weapon has at least one weapon, one bullet to shoot, then we're going to shoot. Otherwise it's not going to shoot anything, and it's just going to print a string saying that we don't have any bullets. So after shooting, what we do, we of course need to spawn. We have to make the bullet to travel in the world. So we need to spawn a projectile that we've made in the other devlogs. So this is the projectile for the bow in this case. So this is the arrow projectile. And the projectile movement here for the initial speed, I've set it to be 4000, but for the max speed, and I set the rotation follows velocity option on. I'm not sure if this. So if it's on, the rotation will be updated each frame to match the direction of its velocity. I'm not sure what that means, but I think this makes the arrow to be more realistic. Before that option was not on, so now I've enabled it, and that's pretty much all I've done. Nothing much to worry about in here. All right. PSX edit in my UE5 editor. The GASP project is now showing its content in the content browser. Oh yeah, that's because you're using a wrong version. Try to use 5.5 version and try to open the project again. It's probably because you're using a previous version than the project currently supports. So each project it requires a different version to run. So if whatever weapon we're holding for shooting is the bow, we're going to run the bow logic. So as you can see, if I try to simulate this and try to shoot with the bow, as you can see, the bow is going to be triggered, it's going to be executed. If you try to pick up the pistol, as you can see, it's going to execute the pistol logic. Yeah, if you're using 5.5, try to reinstall, because I think you broke the project by using another version. But try to re-download the project and use 5.5 or 5.6 to see if that's gonna solve. So for the pistol logic, we spawn a sound effect and a visual effect. The sound effect is basically the sound here, which is the sound of shooting for the handgun, and the muzzle flash particle as well that gets spawned on the muzzle of the pistol. Now for the bow, we don't spawn any sound of any visual effect unless you want. So I'm going to delete that just to go straight away. If you want to add a shoot sound effect for the bow, you can as well just by selecting this. Now here we spawned a arrow, and here for the projectile location, we have these values in here. So here you get the bullet start location, and the reason why I get the bullet start location, which is a arrow component, let me show you in the arrow child. If you go to the viewport, not in the arrow, I think it's the bow child. So if you go to the viewport of the bow, you can visually see the bow in here, and you can place the location of where the projectile is going to launch from. So from here you can edit the location. If you set it to be like here, maybe it's going to glitch. Let me see. I've never tried to do that. Oops. Yeah. If I try to do that in slow motion, as you can see, it's a little bit down, but you can move it up like this, and you can pretty much edit to be the same location as it is in the arrow. A little bit up, and there we go. Yep. Hold on. Now, here's the most interesting part of this code. We had... Hold on. All right, we're back. Sandbox character, go to the weapon, shooting. I forgot where it is. Yeah, debug function. No. No. It's in the weapon master. So as you can see here, it's a mess. I've been trying to set different values, but I got the one that worked. As you can see, when I pick up the bow, you have the red line trace. You can reload and you can shoot. And as you can see, the arrow goes exactly to the location of where I shoot, but it doesn't goes exact to that location because we have, you know, gravity, you have all the velocity inputs. It's not always going to be in that location, but as you can see, now I think it's a little bit right, maybe. If I adjust the line trace to be a little bit right, I think it's going to be more precise. But we just gotta find the right value. So if I shoot in the middle, as you can see, the line trace was in there. I'm not sure yet. For longer distances, I think we need to set it differently. I'm not sure, but let's see. Yeah, that's very interesting. I've never made some. I've made similar system like this, but not as much precise as this one is. It's very precise. It's very much precise. So later we're going to be adding the crosshair. Oops. So I'm going to delete all this code in here because I don't need it. So delete this. I tried to integrate with GASP as per instruction in GitHub. Instruction plus use ChatGPT to try it. Every fix possible, and in the end, the file is just broken or cooked from the source. Yeah. No, I'm not sure what that is. That project file downloaded is very much burned. You have to burn it. So right now we're just going to do some optimization. Right now what's happening here is that as soon as we aim with a weapon, let me just... we're going to get the bow child. Get the bow child. All right. So as soon as we aim, actually at runtime, every time the red line trace is seen in the world, I think I'm going to make it so that it only shows the red line trace as soon as I aim, because that's going to make more sense. It doesn't make sense to hold the bow and see the red line trace going to whatever direction it finds to be looking at. So we're gonna try to... Yeah, my voice is not letting me speak, unfortunately. I'm gonna place this code in the sandbox character. So here's on the weapon master. I'm going to place that code in the sandbox character. I'm going to copy all this. This is the most important code that needs to be copied. I'm going to unplug this. This line trace for weapon event comes from the event tick. That's very bad. We don't have to do that. So I'm going to unplug this and copy that code that we did over there and go to the weapon aim function. So go to the event graph. Event graph. Okay, aim Aim. Fix rotation rate. No. It's pressing aim. Okay, maybe there's a code in here. Morningstar, hello. Event tick, debug function. Yeah, we used to make the aiming part in here. I'm gonna have to make a function for that, for the aiming, because we don't have it now. So I'm going to make a function called weapon aiming, and I'm just going to paste that code over here. That's going to be a lot easier for the line tracer up here. Even for the code is going to thank you later for this. So okay, weapon aiming. This is going to be the place. Now we're going. I'm not sure if you can place the macros inside functions, but yeah, I'm not sure if you can do that. Let me just see if I can do that. Get weapon reference. Oh, we can. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if that's gonna be performant, but let's test it out. Weapon state found. Saved weapon reference. We plug that into the bullet start location. That's perfect. If the weapon is found, then do this. We can also use the weapon saved tag. We can switch. Actually, the name of this is not weapon tag, it's weapon type. I think that's going to make a lot more sense. So we switch on weapon type, and I only want to apply, because you can see, if I try to, wait, I'm going to show you later, because you're going to have to edit a specific offset for each weapon. So maybe the bow is going to have a different offset than the pistol. So when you hold the pistol, the red line trace is going to appear. The offset is going to be too much to the right or to the left, depending on which type of weapon you pick and aim with. So we're gonna have to select a specific vector value for the offset, depending on which type of weapon we're going to be aiming with. Right now, I think we don't need to worry about this. Let's just compile, save, and we're going to search find for weapon is equipped. All right. So press on play. And of course, I forgot to to run that function. I'm going to place this function before this one. The most important functions, you place it in the order. This collapse graph, which sets the character to play the idle animation, it can be right at the end. It doesn't really need to be in the beginning. So as you can see now, you can see the bowl, the red line trace, and it works. Now, if you pick up the pistol and try to shoot, as you can see right away, the pistol, the red line trace, is a little bit down, and that's what I'm talking about. For some, maybe for some sockets or for some weapons, it needs to be, we need to get a separate offset for each weapon. So we're going to make a vector. For the Y, we're going to make, this is for the bowl, and we're going to be make a select vector node, not this one. This one is better. And the saved weapon type is going to be plugged right into here. For the bow, we're going to plug that into there. This is 0, 1, 2, 5 zeros. All right. Now for the pistol, I noticed that the line trace is a little bit down, so I'm going to increase this value to be 5. I'm not sure why the bullet projectiles are not spawning for the pistol. Let me check it out. So as you can see, we don't need this code. I'm just going to delete it. That's one. We also don't need this. Cool. Yeah, I forgot to spawn the projectiles. So just going to copy and paste this section here. And then set that to the pistol logic. Just paste it there. And then, of course, we got to change the projectile class. Instead of projectile arrow, we're going to get the projectile pistol bullet. I think the projectile, the speed of the pistol bullet can be a little bit higher. I'm gonna set this to be 8,000 for the speed. Yeah, it could be. Now the line trace can be a little bit down, so we're going to change this value in here. Now I'm not sure if I should increase it or decrease it, but generally it's decrease. So I'm going to put it to be 3 instead of 5, and put that in full screen because sometimes it might change. I think the bullet just see. Yeah, there's something to be done in the pistol itself. Pistol, a handgun, BP, child. Now the bullet goes too much high. I'm gonna do a offset of 5 to see if I can get the bullet to be in the right where the line trace is going. So now it's down. Okay, let me just do 2 in here. It's just that little offset that makes the whole difference. Alright, just a little bit more. 4. So we set this offset so that the bullet can hit where the light trace is going. It'll make the bullet to hit a bit higher. Makes sense. Seems like it's really good. Oh wow. Now we're going to do the same thing for the rifle. Weapon aiming. I'm going to rename this weapon aiming. Weapon aiming line trace. Gangsta Cat said, "Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend." It's GASP plus ALS. Yes, it is. I'm using a custom character, humanized character, because it looks cool. Looks very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Animation graph. Replicate it? No, I don't know how to replicate. And also for replicating this, you need to use C++. For a better performance, but you can also do it with blueprints. I'm using GASP, but not ALS. Because ALS is not good for me. Why is it? Why is that? What exactly is not good for you on the ALS? Yeah, the default GASP is replicated. Yeah. Let me see if I can play with 2 people. I have to spawn the other one. How does it work? Player 2, player 1. This is player 1. Player. So you can net mode play as listen server. No. I think he crashed. Oh no. Play. Ah. Yeah, GASP, it has all the necessary locomotion and camera logic for making a game. Yeah, all you need to do is just make the animations or buy the animations and make the logic for the upper body locomotion, place the overlay layers correctly in the order. That's all you gotta do. Let me just fix the crouch, because when you crouch, the camera gets right in the middle of the character. So Go to the gameplay camera. Get where the crouched, where is it? Crouch offset, and set the same offset as the other one. Let me just see if that's gonna work or no. Yeah, this is a single player project. Single player. Now I'm not sure how to set the oh, here the crouch offset. Crouch offset, translation offset, camera pose, pivot. There is a separate crouch offset for the camera, I guess. Here the default value is -50. I'm not sure if I set it to be 250. Let's see how that's gonna affect. Oh yeah, that's gonna affect the left or right, maybe. Let me just set it to be 0. Let's see. Okay, that fixes it, I think. I'm going to make it so that when the character picks up a new arrow, that arrow is going to appear on the holster of the character. So that's going to appear in here. So when he picks up the arrow, it's going to transport directly into his back. I'm not going to place I'm not going to play an animation that the character picks up the arrow and then puts it on the back, because this is just a refinement issue, refinement thing, polish thing that we're going to be doing later. We don't really need to worry about the front end too much. So when the character picks up the arrow, it's going to teleport into his back. That's it. That's all we gotta do. So to do that, I think I'm going to make a space for putting more arrows into the holster. So holster, not pistol holster. I think it's called arrow pocket. BP arrow pocket. All right, so in the arrow pocket, we're going to go to this skeletal mesh. And in here, I'm going to duplicate this, or maybe no, add a new socket. So arrow 5, this is going to be arrow 5, add preview asset, arrow. Oops. What am I doing? Add preview asset, arrow, there we go. I'm going to change the perspective to be right. The scale is going to be 0.8. And I'm going to get the unlit mode. There we go. Too much bright. Place it in here. Six. All right, that looks nice. Spawnable ammo. I think we have 2 spawnable ammos in here, so we can pick them up. So what I'm gonna do is when I pick up the ammo, the arrow in the ground, I'm going to make it appear visually in the holster. So I need to find a way to get the reference of the holster if it's not already created, and then place that arrow in there. I think first I'm gonna have to go to the arrow pocket and then create a new skeletal mesh in here, actually 2. So just duplicate it, 5, 6, how many arrows there are? Yeah, 6 arrows, 1, 2, 3, 6. That's great. Now try to go back. Just check. Now here's going to be arrow 5. Just assign them to the right location. And this is going to be arrow 6. All right. Now it worked. Now this is just a prototype. Don't take this as a final result because we have a lot of work to do yet. Simple system like this, like these, require a lot of work to do regardless. They look simple to make, but if it's something that's new to you or something that you did for the first time and just keep testing things, it's a little bit tricky and it takes a lot of time to set up. But once you get the knowledge of how you do things, how you can, you know, separate things, make the logic and make the systems, you pretty much can do anything else, right? So it's just a matter of time until you keep testing things. This is just what I do every day. It's just test new stuff, add and implement and see if they work. If they don't work, then try other ways to see and figure out what's happening. Now the debug tools that Unreal Engine has is just incredible. You can just play in here, and if you want to see through things, you can also press F1 or F2 to see the details. You can also use this option here to debug. So as you can see the core, the code firing the logic and see which exact logic is being executed. You also have the debug tools in the animation graph. As you can see, you can debug this to see which pose is being played on the character. If you want to show that, you have to click here and debug. It's not showing the bones right now because I'm using the other character. If I do that in this character right here on its generic retarget, I'm gonna be able to see that through here. So I'll go. There we go. But for debugging, the animation, the UFN character is the best. So you're gonna have to change the mesh to the UFN if you want to debug things. It's a lot easier because you can see the bones and which animation is playing, blah blah, all those things. Now let me fix the the collision of the rifle. As you can see, it's pretty much broken. All the collision set, the collision assets of it. GASP ALS worked in UE5 5.6. That's great. I told you. All right, go to. Let's fix the issue with the rifle. Go to the rifle, skeletal mesh, right click. Yeah, I'm not using this one right now, so I'm just going to delete it. Force delete. Now I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to. What I'm going to do is delete the physics asset that comes with it because it's not working. So. Delete all the physical assets. Those things are cluttering the graph in here, the content browser. This one I'm not using. Skeleton. So what I like to do is just go to create and physics asset, create and assign. So here, as this is not a round object, so I'm going to select the box to be the primary shape. As you can see now, it's pretty much created for you. I'm not going to use this object here. I'm not going to use that one. Now I can pretty much simulate the physics. No, it's working. I'm just going to adjust it real quick, just to refine the collision settings. So this is the top view. Get the unlit mode. And go to the right view. Adjust that. Go to the front. So yeah. There you go. Now when you play the game, as you can see now the rifle is pretty much, it's very good. Looks good. The physics work. Can pick it up. Drop it. Alright, and now I have to fix this bug here, because if you can spam basically the pickup action if you keep pressing F. So as you can see, the character gets crazy. So the way I'm gonna do this is get to know if the character is picking up currently the weapon or not. So as you can see, as I've made the debug option where you can select which kind of debug information you want to see on the screen. So if I press 1, I can see the something related to the input of the character or animation. I'm gonna have to check it out which one exactly it is. But if you keep pressing 1, 2, or 3, you can be able to see which information you want to. You can basically choose which kind of information you want to basically see on the screen. If you pick up the bow, now it's going to show up for you the bow, which weapon is equipped, if the bow is equipped or not. If I holster the bow, as you can see now the bow shows that it's holstered. The current ammo quantity, all that good stuff that you need to really see what's going on the code. So if the character is pressing the right mouse button to aim, so as you can see that Boolean gets to be set to be true or false. And that's really good. If it's playing the pickup pistol animation, pickup pistol, yeah, I have to change that name. It's not pickup, playing pickup pistol animation is like playing pickup weapon animation. So it works for any kind of weapon. So if I pick up the rifle, as you can see that animation, that information is really set in there. And there is also 2 variables. So I have to really solve this in the back end of the code right now. Because we have 2 informations in there. We don't need that information. Just 1. So CBP, sandbox character. We're gonna go to the event tick where the actions are, the informations are. So play pickup pistol animation. It's part of the debug character weapon state, but there is also another one. There is also this one here, which is basically the same. Debug player input. But I think this is part of the weapon state more than the debug player input, so I'm just going to delete this. And I'm going to edit the key. I'm going to press. This is going to just reorder the keys so that the print strings, they don't overlap with each other. They don't override each other. All right. So that when I press 3, I can debug that information there. But this is just is more like is playing pickup item anim. That's going to be a lot easier to identify in the code. So when you pick up a item, as you can see, that gets to be displayed there. Another thing that I would like to do is you cannot sprint when you're the ability to block the player to not actually block the player's input to not be able to sprint while you're strafing. Because otherwise you're going to get this result here, which is not which doesn't look very cool. Let me just see how the character gets to be in the world while he's doing that. Yeah, in here it doesn't happen. Ah, here, yeah, it happens as well. The character glitches itself like this. Yeah. So we're gonna fix that bug right now. And as Garth said, a realistic thing, the more weapons you're carrying should slow you down more. Yeah, maybe that's just a Polish thing at the end. I'm not sure if that happens in the Last of Us 2. It's a thing that happens in there. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here is get the branch and then get if the character is pressing aim. If the character is not pressing aim, then we can go ahead and sprint. So let's say the player has pressed aim, but the character is already sprinting. So what we're gonna do is set the sprint mode. So if the character is sprinting, we're going to update the state to stop strafing and start aiming, because we're going to override the strafe movement. And we want to stop if the player presses aim, if the character is strafing, we're going to stop strafing and start to aim, because aiming is more important. No, not strafing, sprinting. But I think we can do everything here. Block movement input. We can do everything here. So wants to strafe. I'm going to do that. Wants to walk. We don't want to walk. Just let that. Wants to sprint off. All right, I think that's all we can do. That's all we have to do. I think we don't even need to check for anything. It's going to set up automatically. So even if the character is sprinting or not, it's going to disable it anyway. I believe so. That's gonna happen. Let's see. Say if we're sprinting, and then if you aim, it's going to stop sprinting and it's going to just aim. And if I'm aiming and then if I press to sprint, it's not gonna happen. So that's just one of the most annoying bugs that we had. All right. Yeah, and the other thing that I would like to do is just make the line trace to appear only when the character is aiming. So I'm going to do that is in the ventic. So only if the character is aiming. Let's check the character state. So if range is pressing aim, there we go. Now that's all you gotta do. So if only show line trace if character is aiming, or if player is aiming, or if player is aiming. All right. We have the snapping issue, but it only happens on the... It happens more on the slow motion, but it's something that we can refine later. Don't need to worry about that. This right now. It's just that the rotation rate is being set as much quick as possible, but you can also edit that in the timeline. So if you go to the timeline, let me just see where that's set. Rotation rate. You can set that to the rotation rate of, yeah, let's just set that. Leave it there. Let me just go back here. So if you only debug the rotation rate, as you can see, you get the rifle. That, I think that's happens especially with the rifle. That takes 10 seconds. I'm just do 20. I remember that that was not an issue of the of the rotation rate itself. I think it was another thing that I have to figure out what is again. No, it's not happening. That's very interesting. So when you pick up a item on my system, as soon as you press F, wait, as you press F, I think was not showing up in here. So as soon as you press F, this logic here is executed. So I want to fit in my variable to be true or false. Depending if the character is started playing pickup item animation. All right, so from the moment, cancel if the weapon class doesn't have the correct enumeration value. So after that, we block the movement input and we stop playing the montage of the foot correction. We check if the character already owns the weapon to pick up, blah, blah, blah. So the part after this one, if it gets to be true, then it means that we are going to be picking up a rifle, an item. It could be any item. So from here, from this execution line, we are going to execute anything. So we're going to start playing, actually start process of picking up an item. It could be any item. It could be an ammo. No, actually for this process here, we're going to be picking up any type of weapon. Picking up any type of weapon. And in here, we are going to start process of picking up any type of ammo. So we have the ammo pickup event, and then we do everything the other side in there. Yeah. Here we can also stop sprinting as we're picking up an ammo. We can stop the sprint character input state. Start process of picking up any type of ammo. So I'm going to write ammo with uppercase and weapon with uppercase just to differentiate one of the other. Yeah, so now in the process, we're going to set up this variable in here because it's very important to know, as we don't want the player to just keep pressing F, and then happens that if you keep pressing F, it's going to be crazy. So I want to update this value to be true, and this one as well, if in case it becomes true. If in case the character picks up the ammo as well. So after picking up, we are going to play this whole logic in here. That will do its thing. Let me just see. Let me just see where I'm going to place the other logic. I think. So this is the pickup item event. I think this is triggered as soon as the character finishes picking up. As you can see, this code is executed as soon as we pick up the ammo in this case. This is the ammo pickup event, and this is the ammo pickup action, input action. So ammo, actually this is pickup, wait. Let's just say pickup item event, just that. That's looking nice. So as soon as we pick up any type of item, this code here is executed. Here checks if was ammo found. Let me just see. So that code is executed. Was ammo found? Okay. So started playing montage. We're going to place that variable in here. So notify when character ends up picking up item. So set it to be true, false. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other one, the other part. So just going to place the same in here. I think that's going to do the job. Let's see. It's going to stop the spamming issue. But of course we need to set some other things. Let me just, as you can see, if I keep pressing F, it's going to spam. I don't want that. So what I want to do is do a very simple thing right now, which if we are already in the process of picking up, we're going to get this branch. So if it has started, then don't execute. If it has started, if it has started playing pickup item animation, it's true, don't execute. So if it hasn't started yet, then we can execute the pickup item process. So check if character is already picking up item. Let's see. Yeah, pressing. As you can see now, I can spam. Sometimes I have funny bugs like this. We have this error here because we're just basically reading trying to access a variable that's not valid. So that's what happens. I'm going to get the name of it, and then I'm going to just print up a text color red saying that is not valid. That's it. So that we can avoid this error here and just play the print string instead. don't know why the character bends before picking up an item. There we go. So the pickup event is being triggered because basically we have a weapon pickup logic here, which is triggered by the isPlaying pickup item animation. So isPlaying pickup item animation. I think it's another name. No, it's the same. isPlaying pickup item animation. Item animation. Okay. Ammo identified as false is unknown, as you can see. That's what happened when the class is not valid. Ammo identified reference is unknown, the class is unknown. So the ammo was found, but the reference itself doesn't exist for some reason. Of course, because we've already picked up the ammo. So add ammo. So what we're gonna do is set to be canceling the animation. So I started playing animation is false, ammo was found, is playing block movement input, and destroy actor. Or maybe cancel also the pickup function if it's not valid. Well, we can cancel it. Destroy actor and cancel, do everything. So let's see if that's gonna happen. This is just a temporary fix for the temporary fix for loop issue of picking of animation of picking. Picking up. Press play. So I'm gonna try to keep pressing. I think it only happens with the arrow for some reason. Yeah, the bug happened, but then it disappeared. I'm gonna, oh yeah, we have another arrow here. Pickup event graph. Here. So destroy actor, we don't need to do that. So I'm going to be solving this issue later because right now it's the time to go. So thank you very much, guys, who stayed on the live. You guys are heroes because dedication to the effort of dedication is very much needed.